Greetings, my brothers and sisters. How you doing out there? Well, this is Chrissy B. Imhotep on YouTube. We thank you so much for your subscriptions. The last time I had done a video or a live stream, we only had about 1,000 subscribers. That shows you how long ago since we've last put up a live video or even a normal video content. And now we have well over 5,000, heading towards 6,000 subscribers. So we thank you all out there so much, because without you, there's no us. I always say that, you know. And then when we start to get monetized, which is hopefully very soon, we're going to start giving away prizes. I've been talking about it from since we was on 500 subscribers. So I've been talking about this for maybe about the last year and a half. So as soon as we start to get monetized, we're going to give away free prizes, okay? And we're not going to reveal what it is, but you will all be happy with it. But as soon as we get monetized, we'll do that. But brothers and sisters, we're here to talk briefly about what is Christmas, what are we celebrating. I've done a live stream earlier on, but for some reason the Wi-Fi jumped. So I'm doing a video here now just to, you know, confirm and just to kind of like go over what I said in case it cut off midway through what I was talking about, so that you get the gist of what I was really saying. Basically, in a nutshell, what I was saying, brothers and sisters, was that I was born on that day. That's why I was given the name of Chris, hence Chrissy B, Chrissy Imhotep. So tomorrow is actually my birthday. I do celebrate that. But Christmas, as I was talking about in the last stream, is really a myth, because I spoke to so many people. I spoke to an elderly guy up the road from me. He was a Pentecostal guy. I'm not sure if he's still around anymore, but it's been a long time since I've seen him. And he used to go to the Caribbean to do ministry work in certain parts of Africa. And I asked him about, you know, what does Christmas mean to him? And he said to me that Christmas is just commercialism. And he also said to me that if you look in the scriptures, you know, when Jesus, he went to a part where he threw out some of his disciples and some of the people who were celebrating, not his disciples, some of the people who were celebrating this so-called day, like a festive day, which is pagan, which God never gave them. If you believe in the Bible, that is. Believe in the Bible, it tells you these things. And I can't remember what book it is, but it's in one of the Gospels, because it was when Yeshua came down. So it's in one of the 4 Gospels. And Yeshua heard about this, and he went to the hall that we were celebrating in, and he heard them out, and he was really angry with them. I remember some years ago, one of our friends was a Jehovah's Witness, because that's where I first got it, from the Jehovah's Witnesses, that Christmas is pagan and it's not to be celebrated. And so when I asked why, then they told me. So this Jehovah's Witness guy came to see me one day. You know, as you know, Jehovah's Witnesses, they normally, you know, preach from the New Testament Bible, and everything they talk about is related to the scriptures. They always use scriptures to back up what they say. And then this friend of ours, he's no longer around, sadly. He said to me at the time, this is when I was still at my parents' house, so this was about maybe 20 years ago. And he said to me that they don't celebrate it because he said to me that if you look into it, as well as that element, it's commercialism, but it's pagan. It's a pagan day. It's not scriptural. It doesn't talk about it in the scriptures. So why should they celebrate it? And they go by what is in the scriptures, essentially. I remember reading somewhere also some years ago that the reason why, if you look at the days, Christmas, so-called Christmas Day, is on the 25th. Yeah, and exactly a week after the 25th, there's a new year. So it says that, isn't it such a coincidence that exactly 1 week after the so-called day when Yeshua was born, because that's how the Europeans have it, they say that they celebrate it because that's to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, yeah. And the Bible also says that. And I think the elders also showed me that as well. When it came to the Jehovah's Witness elder, he said to me that if you look in the scriptures, when Jesus was born, shepherds were outside guarding their sheep and their livestock. Let's not forget, December is a cold month. You know, at times it's snowy. You know, those songs like from Bing Crosby and those guys about dreaming of a white Christmas. And if shepherds are outside their houses guarding their sheep and their livestock on a day like that, does it really make sense that Jesus was born on the 25th of December? You know, no, it doesn't. So he says to me that if you look into it, a more relatable month and a more realistic month for Jesus' birth is actually sometime in October. I think he's got it in the scriptures, but you've got to know where to find it and how to dissect it and how to kind of like, you know, read it, but somebody showed me years ago in the Bible. It's sometime in October, but I don't really go on that, philosophy and the ideology. I go on what just by common sense, and I go on the fact that the Jehovah's Witnesses also said that it was only 200 years since Christmas has been a thing, because the Roman Catholic Church actually, and members of the British aristocracy, like members of the royal family and so on, they had it so that, Christmas can be a day for them to take a break from the rigors and the endeavors of life, of everyday life, where you've got to go out work, people have got to go out work, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. So having one day sacred, even though it's false and even though it's pagan, means that they can take a break. And another week after it's a new year, they can take another break. So when you get it from that perspective, it goes to show that it's nothing but sheer commercialism and sheer myth. Nobody don't have to agree. We don't always have to agree. But I've been reading about it for about 20 years. I've stopped celebrating it about 20 years now. Yeah, it's been about 20 years since I stopped celebrating it. My family members now don't celebrate. The only thing I do is that because my birthday is on that same day, I do celebrate my birthday. But it goes to show you that it's a myth and it's falsehood. And one day, because I've got to do some cooking now, at the moment I can't really, stay too long, but I want to come on there one day and give you some more time and, speak some more about it, go into this. If we can do a live stream, that'd be even better, so you can throw questions at me and so I can answer those questions as honestly as possible. So there's a few things to go on. The fact that Jesus, when he was born, that day, that time, shepherds are outside guarding their sheep, and so-called it's sometime in October, where the month isn't as cold, where you're shivering as it will be in December. You get a bit of sunshine in October. In December, it's blatantly cold with sub-zero temperatures. Also, when Jesus, I call him Yeshua, but most people call him Jesus, went into the hall and hurled out those, non-believers and those paganists who were celebrating against God. God never ordered them to do that, but they went ahead and did it. And Yeshua said, "No, this is wrong. You've got to go out." And he hurled them out, and he was angry with them. You see, and that and so on. And then there's other things as well which I mentioned before, previously, and so on. Commercialism. The fact it's only 200 years old. Christmas is only 200 years old. It's not as if we've been celebrating from the beginning of mankind, where our ancestors celebrated it. You can understand if it was a thing like, it's been going for about 6,000 years, our ancestors celebrate. You can understand, but when it's 200 years, you got to show that it's commercialism. I think Christmas is mostly for the children. I think give it to them, the children, because the children need something, some fun and some excitement. So I think when you're a child, you can celebrate that, and then when they get older, they get to realize the truth. Because I remember when I was a kid, I used to love Christmas. I used to couldn't wait. I got more than 2 lots of presents. I got my birthday presents and I got my Christmas presents. I remember one year, I think it was around 1985, so I would have been about 7, 8 at the time. And I remember a friend of mine, when we was living in the block, he lived a Turkish. They were Turkish Cypriots, and that lady loved me. And every Christmas, every birthday, she gave me so many presents. I remember one year I counted about 35 different presents. I couldn't believe it. I don't think I've ever had as many presents as that in 1 year. That was in 1985. 35 lots of presents. I couldn't believe. I never had anything like that ever since. I've had 3 or 4, 5 or 6, but I never had 35. That was amazing. That was massive. That was mad. 35 presents, Christmas and birthday. That's too much. And there were no shoddy presents either. There were some great presents I had. I remember it. And then I can't remember years ago. After those things I don't have anymore. I've given them away, or they got thrown away, or in moving houses. Because that's what, obviously, when I was with my parents. Now I'm on my own. I'm very lucky if I even get a birthday card now. So times have changed, but it goes to show you that what we're celebrating is not scriptural. So if anybody says, we're celebrating Jesus Christ's birthday, it's not scriptural because it's not in the Bible. So that's a myth. And that is a non-entity, and also, the fact that it's a different time of year, because when he was born, shepherds were guarding their sheep. It was a warmer climate. I know it's in the Middle East and so on, or certain parts of Africa. Some people say certain parts of Africa. Some people say it's in the Middle East. I believe it's somewhere between Ethiopia and Israel, around that region there. That's where they reckon the Garden of Eden is. Some say the Garden of Eden is even in Uganda. I'm not sure about that, but I believe the Garden of Eden is somewhere around Ethiopia, between Egypt, Ethiopia, and that area there, that Middle East area. That's where it roughly is. Everybody's got their own interpretation as to where the Garden of Eden is. But I think with logic and with research, I believe it's around that region, somewhere in Ethiopia, between Ethiopia and Israel, around that region there. And so it goes to show that a lot of the things that man have said don't add up to when you do research and what's in the scriptures. So it's obvious that it's man-made. It's a man-made custom. So hence it's, regarded as, rendered as absolute paganism. You see, so you've got to do your research, my people. Read books. I've got Dr. Ben's book over there about the Black Man of the Nile, and so on. And I'll talk about that another time, and how our ancestors really lived in those times. I'll do a show about that, hopefully in the new year. But I might have to upgrade again, or I might have to use my PC. I don't want to touch it because it's brand new, but I'm gonna have to use it. But anyway, my brothers and sisters, I hope you've got what I said. If there's something I said you don't understand or I didn't cover, put it in the comments down below, and I'll try and answer it for another stream. Also, if there's certain streams you want me to do, please put it in the comments and say, "Oh, Chrissy B, could you do, a program about this? Could you do a program about that?" And I'll look into it, and when I'm ready, I'll come and do it for you. Okay, my brothers and sisters, no problem at all. You take care of yourselves. I don't celebrate it. It's my birthday, so I'm going to celebrate that. So if you do celebrate it, we're not going to say to you, because we don't celebrate Christmas, that you mustn't either. We'll leave it open. We're more democratic. We're more, we leave it for you. So if you do celebrate that day, be careful, enjoy yourself. Don't drink and drive, as you know, or don't drink and drive anytime. Okay, and enjoy yourself with your family. And we'll speak to you soon. I may do a stream tomorrow. I don't know yet. I may do it because I wanted to talk to you about some things, but I'll have to look and see what it's like tomorrow. And if I'm not busy, and if I'm in the mood, and if I've got the time, I'll come and try and do a live stream. Okay, my brothers and sisters, you take care. Keep subscribing, okay, to our channel. Keep hitting the like button. Keep sharing our videos. I want to thank you so much, as I said at the start of the stream, that without you, there's no us. So thank you so much for your subscribers, subscription, for your likes, and for your shares, and for your comments. And I'm going to say this: anybody's rude and disrespectful to anybody else in the comments, or to myself, or to our team, then you're going to be blocked, But hopefully, most of you so far, I've had to block a few people, but most of you have been very, very, very good. So you take care of yourselves, and don't forget, Crispy loves you all. Adios. Take care.